Well, the federal government and the opposition are engaging in a battle of one-upmanship over reining in the banks. The government says it's taking a careful approach before announcing measures to help consumers next month. But the opposition says that's too slow, and it'll introduce a private members' bill when Parliament resumes to boost the competition watchdog's powers. It's unclear if the coalition has enough support for the bill to pass, with some independents sceptical about it. Susan McDonald reports from Canberra.
The People's Watchdog has hit a new beat. Sydney's CBD, home to some of the big banks.
Let's see if he's even in today to accept a letter from Choice.
The consumer group has a bone to pick. It wants an end to all unfair fees and for customers to be able to switch banks more easily.
And unless they play ball, they're going to face a wall of regulation which will be heavy-handed and blunt.
Using the power of publicity, Choice has launched a new advertisement, drawing inspiration from one of the bank's existing ads.
There's a fee for that.
You're just another bloody bank.
Right there in the name.
It reflects community sentiment on a day when the ANZ was in the federal court in Melbourne fighting to delay a class action over unfair fees, and in the wake of the Commonwealth's decision to raise mortgage rates by nearly double the official move.
I'm angry. I understand why Australians paying mortgages are angry. Angry with the banks, angry with the Commonwealth Bank for this move.
People facing higher mortgage interest rates, they want action. They don't want anger, they want action from the Prime Minister.
The Treasurer phoned bank executives to warn them against supersized interest rate rises. He'll unveil the government's new competition measures next month and says he won't be rushed.
The government is progressing a new wave of banking reform. We are determined to put that in place, but it must be done in a careful, methodical way.
But it won't come soon enough for the Shadow Treasurer.
It's no use jawboning the banks. It is time to actually do something.
Joe Hockey will force the issue when Parliament resumes. He plans to introduce a private members' bill, giving the ACCC more power to crack down on price signalling and collusive behaviour by the banks. The Greens and some independents have indicated they could support the bill, although there's scepticism about what effect it'll have on interest rates.
We are doing this because the government is not acting. If the opposition has to step up to the plate to help to govern the country, then so be it, we will.
The government's signalled its changes will also include boosting the competition watchdog's powers. But for now, it's encouraging disgruntled customers to switch banks. The government itself is considering moving its business away from banks that don't play fair.
If you've had it with your bank, use the power of your dollar, of your business to pressure for a better deal and go elsewhere.
The most pressing question for mortgage holders is whether the remaining big three banks will follow the Commonwealth's move. The opposition says it would be ridiculous if the banks announced their decisions late on a Friday afternoon under the cover of a looming weekend. Susan McDonald, Late.